Hello, everyone. This is the Illuminati religion, not the One World Order Illuminati, which is what you see here, but the World Peace Illuminati that you see here. Illuminate apostrophe church. Now I'm going to explain to you all why you want to be this Illuminati under one truth in God, one humane truth in God, where we treat each other right and end human suffering. I mean, unless you want to suffer. I mean, if you want to suffer, then that's something different. But you shouldn't want somebody else to suffer. Instead of the all-seeing eye Illuminati, that's the eye up top. And it's simply because of this. And this is anti-ungodly society. People say, oh, the Illuminati, the Illuminati. Some people like it because, and I'll explain why in a minute. But the Illuminati, this Illuminati, has been around any ungodly society. And this is how any ungodly society works. And for you kids that are bullied, this is how the little bully syndrome works. So don't feel bad. It's ungodly society what you're dealing with. So don't feel bad and want to kill yourself and all that other stuff. It's all ungodly society, the way people behave. A society comes down to people's behavior. But anyway, and if I talk harsh, and you say, oh, how can he be a religious man and talk harsh? Okay, I'm going to show you. This Illuminati here causes tons and tons of human suffering, death, okay, starvation, and everything else. Okay, so if I talk harsh about this Illuminati and the leaders of this Illuminati, it's because of the human suffering they cause. And the way they treat people is harsh and inhumane. And if someone doesn't like it, well, look, you come be my slave and I'll treat you harsh and you can tell me it's okay. So anyway, what you got up top, you got the lead jackass parasite. Now he hoards all the wealth. Okay, he's the one who hoards all the wealth from humanity. Okay, he sits up there on his little king. And you're supposed to respect him and treat him like a god, even though he's the biggest parasite in the freaking. I mean, if the world woke up, they'd be better off without him. If the world turns to God, they'll realize they'll be better off without him. Okay. Now, on the next level, which there's a line here, but on the next level, you have various levels of brown-nosing jackass crap eaters that work the masses hard, pay them little, and oppress them. Or they teach them corrupt ignorance and self and social destruction. Sellouts. They're sellouts for money. They have no moral backbone. They'll do anything. They'll do anything to make money. Okay, and they just look to please the jackass in the lead, which is the eye up top. And you kids that get cyberbullied, I mean, think about his friends that hang out with him. What they try to do? There's a bunch of little jackasses running around trying to please the leader. Okay? So they just look to please the jackass in the lead, and those beneath them suffer because they make those beneath them suffer. They love wearing the mark of the beast. And the mark of the beast, people don't know what the mark of the beast is. The mark of the beast is you got to live by the rules of this freaking jackass up top. Otherwise, he wants to starve you to death. And this is what Jesus, and I'm going to get down to the people of God later. And we'll see where they're at. Now, here's the line. Right here. Below them is this area. And they're the masses, which tend to be the poor masses. Okay, they're taught to be ignorant, corrupt, sinful, self and socially destructive. Some want a brown nose to the higher level. Some admire the jackasses in the lead foolishly. Many hate the jackasses in the lead, but they have been taught to be so sinful and self-destructive. They haven't been taught to be strong, stick together, and fight the jackass leader. So they've been made buffoons of. So And this is the way any ungodly society is broken up. And for you Democrats and Republicans, don't get offended with me. I hope you all turn to God and realize you have to correct your behavior. But because they make brown noses and buffoons of you guys. I mean, think about it. The conservatives, they tend to love the boss and work hard for the boss and kill themselves for the boss, hoping to get that promotion in the crown. The ones that made buffoons of, they tend to be the liberals. They hate the leader, but they want to do all their own kind of craziness and chaos. And that's why they don't stick together long. And that's why you have a lot of fighting and wars and gang wars and everything down there. This is all the plan of the jackass with the eye up top. This is plan the whole time. To divide you two. Because if you two come together under God, he got a freaking problem. And he knows that. Now, here on the bottom are the people of God. And I'm going to tell you why the people of God are on the bottom. Because they usually get persecuted, just like in Jesus' day. And they get treated badly, by the jackass up top who's in the eye. People of God, hated by the jackasses, hated by the jackass in the lead, and especially his brown nose and crap eaters, because they won't be brown noses and buffoons. So basically, the people of God who are trying to turn you all to God, but often they're hated. They're hated. And they're telling you to do all good, humane things, and they're hated. And that's the problem. And like I said, I'm not trying to insult every conservative. I'm not trying to insult every liberal. I'm just trying to make a point of the necessity of a society to correct its behavior. And I'm not trying to down you. I'm trying to, well, look, if you want to keep practicing that behavior and hurting other people, then you should be downed. But I'm trying to get you to wake up to your inhumanity, your ungodly ways that hurt others, and it costs you heaven. Because it costs you heaven. And that's why you get cost heaven. Because if you can't behave right here, and you don't want to behave right here, you ain't going to want to behave right in heaven. So, the whole point of this Illuminati, and it's always been around. I don't care, capitalism, communism. Somebody takes the lead. He becomes all powerful and arrogant. And then he crushes the masses beneath him. Same back in the day of Pharaoh. I was watching the old Ten Commandments, I think, with Charleston Heston. Okay, he had that guy, I think his name was Dathan in there. Now, Dathan was he was the Hebrew, but he was brown-nosed freaking jackass. Okay, he had no moral backbone. He would sell anybody out. And he's the one who inspired him to build the golden calf. But he was a Hebrew, but he sold out. So this has always been around. This behavior has always been around. It's nothing new. This Illuminati is nothing new. It's just one world order can come about now because of technology, where years and years ago it was hard to. But now it can happen more easily just because of technology. So this is why I want you to be this Illuminati. And, you can read the Holy Book. You see the www.ALUMINATE.church.org. And it's to fight the eye on every level. Because there's different eyes on every level. Sometimes your boss is the eye. If he's an inhumane, greedy boss, he's the eye. Drug dealers, gang leaders, they become the eye. And the eye is just all the way up to the big eyes in the world. So turn to God. And if you hate me for trying to stop other people from suffering, because many of the masses down here starve and suffer, and they die, and they live horrible lives. Okay, many of the masses here, and then you persecute many of the masses here. So look, if I persecuted you, you wouldn't like it. And you wouldn't really want to respect me, and you wouldn't really like me. So don't expect me to respect you and like you unless you want to do what's humane and right. Because if you're going to cause my suffering, I might have to tolerate you and pretend to respect you. But in reality, look, if you freaking didn't exist, it wouldn't be a loss. And if I'm your king in hell, well, then I'm going to make you suffer the way you made me suffer and all these other poor people suffer. So repent and turn to God.